Hi there, bit of a different setting today. I'm in my car, as you can see, at a gas station. It's very early. Let's see, 6:10 in the morning. I am just waiting here for sunrise. I'll be driving up to the foot of the mountain to climb a mountain called the Castle. And I've been spending the night in my tent over in that direction in the woods somewhere. But anyway, while I'm waiting, I thought I would talk about parasites. Yes, parasites. We have parasites in nature, and it's a very common thing. And I want to talk about parasites in the context of our social life. Because I'm not a biologist, not a doctor, but it is important to understand what a parasite is. And I think that the parasites we see in our social life, they exist in almost the exactly same way as the parasites in like that will get in your guts and into your body, and I know it's disgusting. So and be careful with the water you drink. Filter your water, and don't eat street food, don't eat vegetables that haven't been washed, and yeah, there's a long list there. Be careful with what you eat, wash your hands and all of that. But this video is not about those parasites, like, oh. But rather, I want to talk about how we should be able to pinpoint those people we meet. Now, pinpoint, we should identify, that's the right word, the people we meet in life that are parasites. Some people call them emotional vampires. Some people call them, they talk about their energy, low vibration and all of that. But I like to call them parasites. And parasites live off of what you do, An obvious example would be someone who, in a relationship, a man and a woman, and let's say the man, he doesn't want to work and he just sits there playing computer games or something, watching his smartphone all day long in her apartment, and she pays the rent and he doesn't care to work and so on. Or it could be her, that would be a parasitic existence, right? And you also have parasites that, and these are the ones that are often called emotional vampires. They drain your energy, they drain your lifeblood, they get under your skin like a proper parasite. They might pretend to be your friend, they might even feel that they are your friend, they might even feel they are your only friend. And either as something they do, like with the aim of destroying you, or just because they can't help it, they really, really love when you are not succeeding, because that makes them feel less miserable. It's not envy, it is something much more negative, much more harmful. They will stick to you like a tick, and they will live off of your misery. They might even say things like, you got this, you can do this. And when you don't manage, and when you fail, we all fail from time to time, you know. They love that. They find energy in that. It makes them feel better. And I call them parasites. I've seen it a lot among women, female friends. It's quite common in a group of women to have that dynamic going on. But also among men. Also very common among children, actually. Now this is a big discussion. And again, you know, let's keep this idea of the parasite, the parasitic existence in the back of our heads, you know. While we are looking at the world and our social interactions. And I think that when we do that, it's quite easy to identify the parasites in our lives, in society as a whole. You have parasites in, well, on social media you have a lot of parasites. You have people, it's becoming more and more common. And it's the reason why so many creators of original content on social media are quitting. Because one, they're not getting paid as before, and also people are just stealing their content, you know. And you know these videos where you have someone watching and saying something rubbish, watching a video, and there's a little screen there, little square, and some guys watching and making faces and sharing some stupid opinions about the video being played. Those people are parasites. And it's the best thing to do is not to click on their videos, because, you know, but like the proper parasites, they will even try to mimic. And you see this among animals, you know. Some of these parasitic animals, they try to mimic other animals. And that's how they get to you. Or that's what these people on social media are doing, especially on YouTube and so on. When they steal content, and they use the thumbnail so that it looks like this other creator. The creator of the original video is the one that you're watching when it's this person's channel. And I've had many of my videos being stolen and by these parasites. But I think also ideas can be parasitic. Ideologies. When an ideology, and that can be political affiliation, it can be, you know, what's the word? Religion. It can be anything really, but a belief system. When that becomes an entity that is using you, it's parasitic. And I think a good example is when you have someone knocking on your door. And I've had that happen a couple of times. Now, I live in a rural area, so these people don't usually they don't travel that far out from the cities, but it has happened. And it's like, you got to ask yourself, do these people really want that? Because can you imagine how often people just close the door in their faces? I think it's the ideology, in this case a religion, that has latched onto them like a parasite. And it's making them do these things. But it's a big discussion, I guess. I often find, as a general thing, I often find that most things going on in the so-called modern world, in society, it can be understood as, if you look at human beings as the animals that we are, and I'm surrounded by technology now, as you can see here at the gas station. And, if you just manage to look at everything like nature, things tend to become much clearer. Not so complicated. Because there's nothing new here. It's just the same natural processes that we see in nature. The same things that have been going on since the dawn of time. And yeah. Oh, there's a cat walking over there, actually. Yeah. So I think it's useful to be able to identify the parasites, to see them, and to be able to stay away from them. Because they are, of course, negative. And they are harmful. And they can destroy lives. There are many other examples as well. Emotional parasites in relationships that, people who might call it love, while it really isn't. It's just a parasitic existence. But that's also a big discussion, I guess. But I'll leave it at that. And yeah. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye.